Hey everybody, what's up? Today we're going to talk about timing a new distributor in a 4302 motor. So I'm sure lots of you can Google the firing order, and I'll tell you, this is what it looks like outside of the car. Let's talk a little bit about this. So when you're looking at a distributor, that's your rotor that turns, and I'm using one hand here for the camera. And as that turns around, it's your firing motor, and it shoots the different spark plug wires. Your cap is over here. So anyways, something happened. I don't know what, but I was having a problem. I had to retime it a bunch of times over, and I couldn't quite figure it out why. I figured out I had it apart. This is what we'll look at. On the bottom, I don't know if you can see that little hex. So that's where the oil pump shaft goes into. So when this motor is running, this gear is turning, and it's turning the oil pump shaft. And it's also turning this and timing the engine, running the engine. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is how to time it properly. So what I did here is you want to find top dead center now on an 83 on the Ford 302s. Number one is right here. The first one on the left if you're facing the car. That's the number one cylinder. If you go, I've already set the light up so we could hopefully see this. Timing mark. Put a little piece of paint on there. That's at 0. All right, and then over here, we have the cap, and that's set at 1. If you look right there, it's pointing right to number 1. So, and that drops on there, like so. So remember that was pointing in that direction. So that's set at 0. Here's the thing. One thing I want to point out. That motor, keeping this simple, you have to trust me. Sometimes when you do this, people put it together and it's 180 degrees out. Okay? Why? Because there's a compression stroke and there's an exhaust stroke. Here's the best way to tell. If you take the valve cover off on the number one side, you have to excuse the camera. These are loose, the push rods. So I know these valves are closed, all right? If these valves weren't closed, if I were to go 180 over on this motor, turn that over around one more time, one of them would be open. So the easiest way to remember this is those valves are closed or there's no pressure on them, okay? So top dead center, piston number 1, make sure you're over here, and you're gonna have to work it a little bit to get it in and out. Another problem I had was when you drop your distributor in, it doesn't like to drop right in right away. You're gonna have to turn it a little counterclockwise, and when it drops in, you'll see it rotate. And so for example, I'm sorry with the camera here. Let's say we wanted it like we saw earlier on number 1. When you go to drop it in, you want to put it about right here, because as it drops down, it turns on that cam. It actually rotates a little bit going in. So anyways, I know this is probably a it's a quick how-to, actually the distributor. But I wanted to just tell you what these do and how this works. And so remember, turns out, I believe it was the distributor was the problem. I went and got a new one, timed it up to top dead center, and wanted it fired. I won't tell you the complications prior to that, but it just wasn't right. So anyways, please like and subscribe to my videos. Please enjoy and send me any questions you have.